Welcome to your news and features electronic magazine that centers on the different facets of motoring, now on its 34th year. This is Motoring Today. I'm Ray Louie Gamboa.
And I'm Susie Gamboa. Here are this week's features to watch out for.
On Motoring Forum, we shall discuss the status of various railway projects. Our road safety reminder on the Young Street Smarts portion centers on walking facing the traffic. This week's Buying Chupper shall be about the illegal use of mobile phones while driving. The public service segment centers on steel bars that block the sidewalk. Showcase this week shall have the pickup from Toyota, the Hilux Conquest 2.8 4x4 automatic.
All these plus the latest news in transportation and traffic management, as well as developments in the automotive industry, are in this week's edition of Motoring Today. Join us.
I think my dad is secretly a superhero. He's the coolest, smartest, strongest person alive. No matter where we go, he always makes sure I feel safe. And he isn't afraid of anything. My dad likes to call that the power to lead. I call it his superpower.
Welcome back to Motoring Today. Here now are the latest news and developments in the country's transportation and traffic management. Skyway 3 is getting closer and closer to operating as a full-fledged tollway. That means no more free ride on the Skyway that cuts travel from Quezon City to Makati and vice versa.
The Toll Regulatory Board, along with an independent consultant, has conducted the Site Acceptance Test, or SAT, of the Electronic Toll Collection System of the Metro Manila Skyway Stage 3. Passing the SAT is one of the requirements for allowing the Skyway 3 to begin collecting toll from motorists. The SAT assessed the Skyway 3's toll collection system. This entailed an inventory of the toll collection system equipment. It also covered an assessment of the lane computer system and plaza computer system protocols. Various situations or scenarios at toll lanes and at toll plazas were tested, including the processing of accepted vehicle and towed vehicles, as well as the processing of low balance and invalid RFID transactions. The assessment aims to ensure the Skyway 3 toll collection system is already functional and ready for full operation. The 18.83-kilometer elevated expressway from Binilla, Makati City to NLEX in Balintawak, Quezon City is expected to help decongest traffic in Metro Manila, especially the major thoroughfares like EDSA, CP Garcia, or C5, and other major roads like Quezon Avenue, Araneta Avenue, Nagtahan, and Quirino Avenue. Motorists who have taken the Skyway 3 have reported experiencing traveling from Bindia to Balintawak in just 15 to 20 minutes. Motorists have also noticed that traffic congestion have lessened on EDSA, C5, and the roads that run underneath the Skyway 3 since it was open to the public for free.
It remains to be seen if traffic will ease at grade levels or if the volume of motorists using the Skyway 3 will remain the same once it's no longer toll-free. This may or may not have anything to do with the recent misunderstandings between the Toll Regulatory Board, or TRB, and the San Miguel Corporation's Skyway 3, but the former now has a new chief.
The DOTR quietly announced the appointment of attorney Alvin Carullo as the new executive director or ED at the TRB. A DOTR press statement revealed that ED Carullo's appointment was made effective last March 15. The press statement said that ED Carullo intends to fast-track ongoing proposed toll regulatory board projects as well as enforce proactive regulation of existing toll roads. I intend to inculcate the culture of competence, integrity, and good public service in the TRB. The press statement quoted ED Carullo as saying. It added that ED Carullo intends to take a look at pending applications of toll operators for toll rate increases and ensure decisions are made through a transparent, consultative process. He said toll rates should not be too low as to be confiscatory, nor so high as to be oppressive. ED Carullo also stated that he aims to beef up the manpower at the TRB to ensure that toll regulatory functions are efficiently performed while promoting the professional welfare of staff members.
The TRB certainly has the difficult task of balancing the interest of the motoring public and tollway operators. Time will tell if the new head of the TRB will find that delicate balance that will serve both the public and the operators. The NLEX and the DPWH are working together to meld road expansion projects in Pampanga.
NLEX Corporation is looking at how to interconnect its tollways with road projects being undertaken by the DPWH in Pampanga. According to a press statement, NLEX engineers are evaluating how to incorporate 3 DPWH projects in Santo Tomas, Mexico, and Santa Ines in Pampanga into the existing expressway system. The 3 projects form part of the Pampanga Circumferential Road Master Plan. NLEX Corporation President and General Manager Luigi Bautista said a team of NLEX engineers is actively coordinating with the DPWH in laying out the plans for the interconnection of NLEX SC-Techs with projects included in the Pampanga Circumferential Road. In the same press statement, DPWH Secretary Mark Villar said consultations are being held to push for new access roads to ease daily traffic congestion and improve travel convenience. In one project in the works is a new access to NLEX from MacArthur Highway in Santo Tomas Town. Another being threshed out is a Mexico toll place to help decongest portions of MacArthur Highway while providing an alternative route for trucks planning to use the expressway. At the same time, DPWH and NLEX are looking at merging engineering plans and addressing right-of-way concerns for the proposed road extending the Santa Ines interchange in Barangay Altobola in Babalacad towards the SC-Techs passing through Barangay Dolores.
The DPWH is among the government agencies actively implementing the Build, Build, Build program in healthy partnership with the private sector, which is a good thing, right? Many have noticed that public transport operators, especially jeepneys and buses, are no longer strictly complying with capacity restrictions imposed by the IATF or other safety protocols for that matter. That may be why the DOTR is reminding them about the service contracting program.
Even before the IATF raised allowed capacity in public transport, many jeepneys and bus drivers were already taking on more passengers than was allowed. This was understandable as the capacity restrictions meant they would not be earning as much and may not even be able to break even. Jeepneys and buses are now seen as one of the main vectors in the spread of COVID-19, but even as the IATF again placed Metro Manila and bordering provinces under tighter quarantine restrictions, public transport is allowed to continue operating, albeit with reduced capacity. To help jeepney and bus drivers earn revenue, even while strictly complying with capacity restrictions, Transportation Secretary Arthur Tugade reminded about the Service Contracting Program or SCP. The program was established under the Bayanihan to Recover as One Act to augment the income of bus and jeepney drivers to recover lost income from reduced capacity. In essence, the SCP pays drivers an amount for every kilometer of service rendered a day. This is addition to the fare collected from passengers. This is meant to make up for lost revenues due to reduced capacity. The SCP provides performance-based incentives to encourage drivers to provide efficient, safe, and quality service to passengers. The DOTR said that the LTFRB is still accepting applications from drivers who wish to benefit from the SCP. They can register applications online at www.servicecontracting.ph. This is open to all drivers servicing active routes set by the LTFRB.
Drivers should take advantage of the program. At the same time, they should really understand the reason why the IATF is imposing capacity restrictions while calling for strict implementation of health protocols. And that is to help stop the spread of contagion. Come to think of it, commuters should also understand that they too have the responsibility to comply with all the health protocols, especially when taking public transport. Those are the latest news and developments in transportation and traffic management. Coming up next is Motoring Forum, brought to you by Suzuki Philippines. The government has prioritized the completion of big-ticket railway projects. Motoring Forum takes a look at the status of some and the challenges of completing them in COVID-19 pandemic times.
There is a palpable rush to start or complete big-ticket railway projects in the final year of the administration of President Duterte. During a recent media briefing, the DOTR overseeing the railway sector and rail transport executives and stakeholders presented the status of projects just starting or in the process of being completed. These status reports also included how railways are being operated, maintained, and developed while the country continues to struggle to contain the spread of COVID-19. DOTR Secretary Arthur Tagada explained the rush to complete big-ticket railway infrastructure projects, saying that the pandemic affected project timelines and there was a lot of catching up to do. Secretary Tagada also said the rush was meant to finish work that could immediately be of benefit to people. One of such big-ticket railway projects is the North-South Commuter Railway or NSCR of the PNR. According to PNR General Manager June Magdo, work on the first of three legs of the NSCR, the Clark Phase 1, has progressed 43% as of January 2021. The PNR expects Clark Phase 1, establishing a railway service from Tutuban in Manila to Malolos in Bulacan, to be partially operational by the fourth quarter of the year. However, full operations can only be attained by the second quarter of 2024. Once established, commuters can travel by train from Tutuban to Malolos and vice versa in just 35 minutes. Meanwhile, 5 civil works contracts have been signed for the construction of the PNR Clark Phase 2, which extends the train commuter service from Malolos to Clark in Pampanga. Groundbreaking for this project is expected to take place within 2021. The PNR expects partial operations of Clark Phase 2 to begin by the second quarter of 2023 and full operations by 2024. The PNR reports that at the end of 2020, PNR was servicing 7 routes, 34 stations using 11 train sets. This compares to just 4 routes, 24 stations, and 7 train sets back in 2017. The new diesel hydraulic locomotives that form part of PNR refleeting program are also now in use, with more expected to arrive and be commissioned. Another project that Secretary Tagada wanted to fast-track was the LRT2 East Extension. The Light Rail Transit Authority or LRTA reported that the LRT2 East Extension extending the LRT2 service to Marikina and Antipolo in Rizal was 93.42% complete as of January 31, 2021. During the latest media briefing, LRTA spokesperson Hernando Cabrera announced that the LRT2 will begin operating 2 new stations, the Marikina station in front of Santa Lucia Mall and Robinson's Metro East, and the Antipolo station in front of SM Masinag. Will begin full operations on April 27, one day after its soft opening. Once operational, commuters can get from Recto in Manila to Masinag in around 40 minutes. The viaducts for LRT2 extension are completed, the construction of the stations almost through. Only the electromechanical systems, rails, power supply, telecommunications, and signaling system were being fast-tracked to meet the target date for operations. The DOTR is also happy with how massive the MRT3 rehabilitation project has worked out, even with the challenges of maintaining strict health protocols under the COVID-19 pandemic. The MRT3, like all operating railway services, were forced to stop operating early during the lockdowns. But even during the lockdowns, Japanese maintenance contractor Sumitomo Corporation and Mitsubishi Heavy Industries continued working on the MRT3 rehabilitation project. In doing so, the replacement of all worn-out tracks on the main line of the MRT3 were replaced 2 months ahead of the December 2020 schedule. Station facilities had also been repaired, refitted, and rehabilitated that all 46 MRT3 escalators and 34 elevators were now fully operational. 78% of the works needed for the train signaling system and 100% of the public address system have been completed. Meanwhile, the rehabilitation of trains continued at pace, as the MRT3 struggled with outbreaks when trains were again allowed to operate, and in the last quarter of the year, more train sets were running at faster operating speeds. In the first month of 2021, the MRT3 set a record of running 23 train sets on the main line, with operating speeds reaching 60 kilometers per hour. The MRT3 said this shortened headway or waiting time at the stations down to just 3.5 to 4 minutes from the previous 8 and 9.5 minutes. This meant that even with train capacity reduction to comply with the social distancing protocols, the MRT3 is now managing to accommodate as many as 172,000 passengers in one day.
The railway sector has grown in extent, efficiency, and safety, and work didn't stop even after the COVID-19 pandemic hit the country. All this should benefit the people in the next generation. That's our Motoring Forum this week, brought to you by Suzuki Philippines.
think my dad is secretly a superhero. He's the coolest, smartest, strongest person alive. No matter where we go, he always makes sure I feel safe. And he isn't afraid of anything. My dad likes to call that the power to lead. I call it his superpower.
You are back with us here on Motoring Today. In line with our lifelong commitment to promote road safety, here is this week's road safety tip in cooperation with Toyota Motor Philippines.
If you're walking the sidewalks of the road, it is always better and safer kung ikaw ay nakaharap sa direksyon kung saan papunta ang traffic. This way, meron ka pang oras para iligtas ang sarili kung sakaling makita mo na may paparating na aksidente.
Continuing with this week's edition of Motoring Today, let's now focus on proper driver's demeanor, especially for those driving PUVs. From Mitsubishi Motors Philippines, here is Payong Choper this week.
Payong Choper lang kaibigan, ako si Marlon, isang kapwa nyo Choper. Habang nagmamaneho, kailangan buo ang atensyon mo at hindi gulo-gulo.
Ang cellphone ay isa ng malaking bahagi sa buhay ng tao. Halos lahat ay meron at gumagamit nito. Pero sana kapag tayo ay nagmamaneho, tigilan muna natin ang paggamit ng cellphone. Paalala lang, sa pagmamaneho kailangan ang iba yung konsentrasyon. Kapag ikaw ay nagtetelepono, ang isip mo ay wala sa iyong pagmamaneho at ito ay maaaring maging rason para magkaroon ng aksidente.
Kung ayaw mong mamultahan o maaksidente, huwag kang gumamit ng cellphone habang nagmamaneho. Si Marlon Goodmalin, Payong Choper lang kaibigan mula sa isang kapwa nyo Choper.
Your city is about to change. Are you ready? Ready to rise? Ready to rock? Ready to go? Ready for more? Ready to rule the city. The all-new Honda City. Ready to rule.
I think my dad is secretly a superhero. He's the coolest, smartest, strongest person alive. No matter where we go, he always makes sure I feel safe. And he isn't afraid of anything. My dad likes to call that the power to lead. I call it his superpower.
Introducing the all-new Isuzu D-Max into new heights.
Welcome back to Motoring Today. Let's now take a look at what's happening in the local auto industry.
Isuzu Philippines continues to expand its reach in Mindanao with the opening of a new dealership in Tagum City. Isuzu Tagum sits strategically at Barangay Kanokotan along the road that connects to three major road network systems in Mindanao, the Philippine-Japan Friendship Highway. The 5,000 square meter facility features the latest Isuzu Outlet Standard or iOS showroom design and a large service shop that can cater to 9 light commercial vehicles and 4 trucks all at the same time. Isuzu Tagum is another dealership established by Image Motors Davao del Norte Incorporated, headed by its president Walter Alvarez and managing director Edward Bangayan. At the opening, Isuzu Philippines President Hajime Koso praised Isuzu Tagum's leadership for perseverance and grit to open the imported dealership as scheduled even amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. Koso-san also noted that Tagum has emerged as a booming city with a strong economic development brought by different businesses citywide. It has become inevitable for Isuzu to set foot here so that we can cater to more customers in the region. Now going on 20 years, Ford Philippines has been recognizing excellence and professionalism among members of local media covering the automotive industry through the annual Henry Ford Awards or HFA. This year's awards takes on more significance as it comes at a time when the world is grappling with a pandemic that has caused losses in lives and livelihood. At an awarding session conducted online and attended by over 130 journalists, dealer partners, and Ford executives, awardees of the 20th HFA were announced. Among these were 5 awardees of the new Go Further Changemaker Award who have gone above and beyond the call of duty to help fellow countrymen at the height of the COVID pandemic last year. These are James Deacon for his One for the Road initiative, Juan Chinares for his Mass Crusader initiative, R.D. Lopez for his I'll Hold the Line song composition in honor for frontliners, Anjo Perez for his Food for the Heroes initiative, and Mike Potenciano for his Store Run initiative. Other winners are Automotive Column Driving Our Agnes in the Time of COVID, Monsi Serrano for PhilBiz News. Automotive Green Feature This Car Needs No Roads, Ronald de los Reyes for Daily Tribune. Automotive Industry Feature The Pragmatic SUV, Randy Peregrino for Business Mirror. Automotive Online Feature Benjamin Dimson How a Filipino Artist Built a Career Designing Porsches, and Merck's Vince Pornelos for Auto Industria. Automotive Online Lifestyle Feature The ABCs of ABS, EBD, ESP, ETC Manuel de los Reyes for Second Opinion. Automotive Photograph Golden Blossoms Arabel Jimenez for Mototerismo. Automotive Print Feature What Happens When Cheap Oil Meets a Pandemic Eric Tipan for Manila Bulletin. Automotive Print Lifestyle Feature Anger Management in 2 Hybrids Teresa Salazar for the Philippine Daily Inquirer. Automotive Road Safety Feature How to Properly and Safely Disinfect Your Car Interior Julian Panilio for Auto PH. Automotive Technology Feature Do Expiry Dates for Child Restraints Really Matter Froilan Bacungan Jr. for Vera Files. Automotive Video Feature Understanding the Mild Hybrid Geely Escara Vince Pernelos for Auto Industria. Ford Automotive Feature I Think My Father's Ford Mustang Died With Him Vernon Sarne for Visor. Ford Automotive Video Feature Behind the Wheel 2020 Ford F-150 Review Kako Tirora for Auto Deal. Best Automotive Section for Broadsheet Philippine Daily Inquirer. And Best Automotive Website Top Gear Philippines. Congratulations to all our friends and awardees who make all motoring media proud. In a global reveal, Lexus has rolled out the LFZ Electrified, a BEV or battery electric vehicle that manifests the brand's coming transformation into a future of sustainable and connected personal mobility. The LFZ Electrified incorporates driving performance, styling, and technologies envisioned for realization in all its models by 2025, Lexus said. At the global online Lexus Concept Reveal Show, Lexus revealed that 2025 will see the introduction of 20 new or improved models, including more than 10 electrified models such as BEVs, plug-in hybrid electric vehicles. The luxury car brand expects to sell more electrified vehicles than gasoline-powered variants in 2025, when it will begin offering electric variants for all its models. Lexus said it aims to achieve carbon neutrality throughout the life cycle of its entire model lineup by 2050, from the manufacturing of materials, parts and vehicles, to vehicle logistics, to the final disposal and recycling of older vehicles. It also announced that it will open a new business and technical center in March of 2024, where members of its external partners involved in Lexus brand development, design, production, technology, and planning will collaborate in creating the next generation of cars. Toyota Motor Philippines has confirmed that it will be bringing back its pocket rocket, the GR Yaris. The confirmation came with a teaser in its official website that touted the GR Yaris as having been developed by Toyota Gazoo Racing and built through its motorsports experience, passion, and drive to win under any condition. Teasing buyers even more, Toyota said that the GR Yaris that it will be adding to the local lineup will be priced at 2.65 million pesos. Those interested are asked to check back into the website to find out dealerships which will soon be accepting reservations for the GR Yaris. The announcement of the GR Yaris arrival followed the recent launch of the Vios GRS and the announcement of the return of Toyota's premier motorsports and esports program, Gazoo Racing Vios Cup and GR GT Cup.
Motoring Today now brings you our Car of the Week on Showcase, courtesy of Prudential Guarantee. The entry of more pickup models and brands to the local market has made the segment all the more competitive. Up next on Showcase, we take a look at one of the mainstays vying for market segment leadership, the Toyota Hilux. Its top-of-the-line variant, the Conquest 2.8 4x4 automatic.
Toyota Motor Philippines rolled out the 2020 update of the Hilux in the final months of the year as authorities continued to ease community quarantine restrictions. It arrived with a look that accentuated Toyota's reputation for quality, durability, and reliability. Neither garish nor loud, but rugged in a handsome kind of way. Headlining the made-over Hilux is the Conquest 2.8 4x4 automatic. At 5,325mm long, 1,900mm wide, and 1,845mm tall with the roof ornament, the Hilux Conquest makes an impressive presence in both urban and rural setting. The thick frame and solid horizontal slats of the large grille, wide over fenders with garnish, the 18-inch gloss black alloy wheels wrapped by 265/60 R18 tires all add to the ruggedly handsome vibe. The Conquest 2.8 4x4 automatic also gets all of the exterior upgrades from the bi-beam LED auto leveling headlamps, daytime running lights, front fog lamps, rear LED combination lamps with line guide and LED deck lamp to the power adjusting and folding side view mirrors, and intermittent windshield wipers with time adjust. It also comes with bedliner, sports bar, roof ornament, and the unobtrusive Conquest decals on the side. The Conquest 2.8 4x4 automatic also gets all the interior upgrades for comfort and convenience. These include smart entry and push start system, power window auto up and down function and jam protection, speed sending door locks, cruise control, and automatic climate control. The driver's seat gets 6-way manual adjust function. The front passenger seat adjusts 4 ways. The rear seat separates 60/40, which allows flexibility for cargo. The multi-information display features easy-to-read dials, plus a 4.2-inch TFT to provide all information needed by the driver. The Conquest cabin features leather door trims, interior illumination, and a leather-wrapped steering with controls and switches for audio, phone, and the MID. These include controls for the infotainment system that features an 8-inch display audio with AM/FM radio, Bluetooth, Smart Device Link, Miracast, compatible with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and playing through 6 speakers. There are more than enough cup holders and bottle holders for all occupants as well. 2 12-volt accessory outlets. Pickup trucks are no longer unwieldy or difficult to drive as before. This is true with the Conquest 2.8 4x4 automatic. Power steering with variable flow control, a 6-speed automatic transmission makes driving a breeze. What also makes the Conquest 2.8 4x4 automatic fun to drive is the 2,755cc 4-cylinder intercooled and turbocharged diesel engine mated to the 6-speed automatic transmission that generates 204 PS at 3,400 revolutions per minute and 500 Nm of torque at 1,600 to 2,800 RPM. The adequate powertrain plus the 4-wheel drive capability make the Conquest a fun and practical pickup to own and drive around. The suspension system uses double wishbones in front and leaf spring rigid axle in the rear to allow for solid but comfortable ride and handling in the safe carriage of heavy loads. The brake system uses front ventilated and rear drums and is complemented by anti-lock brake system with electronic brake force distribution for added safety. Also helping keeping driver and passengers safe are driver assist technologies that include vehicle stability control, hill start assist control, and downhill assist control. Rear cameras and sonars at all corners of the Conquest make parking such a huge vehicle easier. Adding to safety in the Hilux Conquest 2.8 4x4 automatic are dual airbags, ISOFIX teeter anchors, 3-point ELR seatbelts for 5, with driver and front passenger getting pre-tensioners and force limiters. Finally, also standard in the Hilux is the Toyota Vehicle Security System, which comes with alarm and immobilizer.
The Toyota Hilux has been around for decades now, leading pickup sales locally for a majority of those years. With more competitors in the market, Toyota has to do more to stay ahead of the competition. That's our featured vehicle on this week's showcase, courtesy of Prudential Guarantee.
Drive worry-free with Prudential Guarantee's auto insurance program with a free 24-hour nationwide roadside assistance included with your comprehensive auto insurance. Rest assured, we'll take care of you and your car wherever you are. Prudential Guarantee's auto insurance program, 100% worry-free driving.
I think my dad is secretly a superhero. He's the coolest, smartest, strongest person alive. No matter where we go, he always makes sure I feel safe. And he isn't afraid of anything. My dad likes to call that the power to lead. I call it his superpower.
We now have our public service segment brought to you by Honda Cars Philippines.
Ever since the pandemic started and community quarantine restrictions eased, many have secured themselves a two-wheel or four-wheel vehicle to resolve mobility problems. But many also have no other choice but to use their own feet to move from one place to another. Along Canley Road in Pasig City, a number of wall foundations are being built where steel bars are almost blocking the sidewalk, causing danger to pedestrians. We then noticed that the construction is being done by a private hotel in the area. While walking gives health benefits to one, we do hope that, like cyclists, pedestrians will also be given a certain protection while on the street.
That's our public service segment from Honda Cars Philippines. And should you yourself encounter motoring problems that need immediate attention, please feel free to contact us. Please see the details on your screens. And that's the week that was in motoring. Thank you for joining us. Also, please don't forget to check us out on social media.
Until next week here on Motoring Today, now on its 34th year of continuing service to the general motoring public with a lifelong commitment to promote road safety. Stay healthy and be vigilant at all times. On behalf of our dad, Butch Gamboa, I'm Ray Louie Gamboa.
And my name is Susie Gamboa.
Happy motoring!
motoring.